consider your toilet cleaning skills. Did you think it was just about putting in cleaner and scrubbing with the brush? I mean, it is, but there are actually a couple more tips if you want a good, thorough clean. Here are 10 toilet cleaning hacks and facts you may not have learned growing up. Now, believe it or not, toilets are actually one of my favorite areas to clean. I will take them any day over the shower. But growing up, I was taught you put in a little of this and you scrub it with this. And while yes, that is the main goal, there are other areas of the toilet that get gross and need attention too, like under the rim or hard water stains or all around the outside. Moms of boys, if you know, you know. So today we are gonna look at those areas that you might be missing and how to easily tackle them. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, especially if you like easy cleaning tips. So number 10, and these are in no particular order, let's talk actually cleaning the toilet bowl. For years, I would just put some of this in, sit it down, pick up the brush and scrub. And actually you wanna let it sit a little while first before you clean it. It actually tells you that on the back of the bottle. It says to let it sit for 5 minutes for sanitizing or 10 minutes to disinfect. So you wanna put this in the bowl, let it sit a little while, and then come back and give it a good scrub to make sure you're actually getting it good and clean. And speaking of reading the back of the bottle, this actually leads me to number 9, which is that you want to flush first, then put in the cleaner. For the longest time, I just opened the lid, put it in, and it mixed with the water, but that dilutes it down. So ideally, you want to flush first, put in the cleaner, that way more can cling to the bowl, and then let it sit. Now, the thing is, the water is going to creep up pretty quickly. So if you really don't want it to mix and want to keep more of the cleaner right on the bowl, then you're going to want to turn off the water on the side valve. So flush it, turn that water off, and that'll keep the water down. Let the cleaner sit on the bowl for 5 to 10 minutes. Then when you come back to clean it, you could turn the valve back on so that you have some water to mix around, clean it, and call it good. Now, you may have seen floating around on the internet that there is the hack or trick out there to take a bucket of water and pour it down to flush it out so that your water is gone, and then you put the cleaner on the empty bowl. But I don't really understand this one because you could just turn it off at the side. So I would just turn the valve off at the side, skip needing the bucket. Now, number 8, let's talk the toilet brush. Growing up, you may have been taught to just use a regular bristle one, and I have to agree with that one. You probably learned right there. Now, obviously on the market nowadays, there are a lot of different options. There's disposable ones. Sometimes people like that rather than keeping a dirty toilet brush sitting around, or silicone ones have become very popular. I myself have recommended those in the past. I used one for years and I liked it until I didn't. I did sort of start to miss the bristles because I don't know, maybe it's just that you feel like it's giving you a better clean. The silicone ones definitely still clean well and get the job done, but I personally like a regular bristle brush. Now, the benefit of the silicone ones are that they are a little easier to keep clean. Another little hack that we can throw in here, if you don't know, is to sandwich, whether you have a silicone brush or a regular bristle brush, sandwich that between your toilet seats. Whenever you're all done cleaning, swish it in the clean water first to sort of rinse it off and let it drip dry in between the seats before putting it back in the holder. If you want to disinfect it, I personally like to spray it with peroxide really well, let it sit for 10 minutes, and you could spray inside the holder with that as well, or not. You don't really have to go that extra mile, but it is nice to let them drip dry before putting them back. The silicone ones obviously rinse a little cleaner, but either way, I personally do like a bristle brush. I feel like they give just a little better of a clean. Number 7 is what I like to call the lazy girl's way to cleaning the toilet. And that is if you don't feel like putting in the cleaner and scrubbing with the brush, every now and then, I don't think this would work for every time, but every now and then, a couple things you can do. One, you can toss in toilet tablets. I'll put a DIY recipe in the caption. They're really easy to make. You can keep them outside near the toilet every few days, toss 1 or 2 in, let them dissolve, and then flush. And this is gonna help keep your toilet cleaner longer. It'll help keep some stuff from adhering to the bowls quickly. So it buys you time in between those deep cleans of the toilet. Same thing with these toilet sheets. You just hair 1 or 2 off, toss it in, let it dissolve, and then flush, or you could scrub and flush, but the whole purpose of the lazy girl's way is to not have to scrub. So again, these are just methods that are really gonna just buy you time in between the deeper cleans with the cleaner and the scrub brush. Another option is to take borax. You take a cup of it, pour it in the bowl, let it sit overnight, and it'll sort of work its magic, and in the morning you can come and just flush and call it it good. So again, the goal here is just so that you can deep clean it less often, and it'll help keep it less gunky from getting less gunky as quickly. Number 6, let's talk underneath the rim of the toilet. Now, fair warning, every time I share this one, it makes people cringe, but I personally think this works really well at getting under that rim clean, because if you have hard water or if you can't get it cleaned all that well, the water will really create this brown, rusty buildup there, and it's unsightly. So the best way that I have found to tackle this area is to really do it by hand. You can use a bristled brush or your whatever toilet brush, and it'll get some of it, but it might not get all of it. So I love these scrubby gloves. These really are made for like dishes to sort of scrub pots and pans, but I have a pair designated for the bathroom, and you put them on and drizzle a little toilet cleaner on it, and then really just get under there with your hands and scrub it. And I know it seems gross, but it works really well. And then afterwards you can just follow with the brush and then flush it. Now, here comes the big question of how do you store that and clean it and everything? So, once I'm all done, I'll sort of swish the glove around in the toilet bowl water, of the clean toilet bowl water, but then clean it in the bathtub, or you could do the sink and then let it drip dry over there, but then clean the sink or the bathtub so that everything gets nice and clean. But I know it seems weird. I'm just telling you, it works really, really well. Number 5 is a pumice stone. So if you have hard water rings on the inside of your toilet, you probably have found that all the scrubbing in the world and the best cleaners really cannot remove those, and they can become unsightly because, dirt and everything can really cling to them a little more. So the best way to get rid of these hard water stains is a pumice stone. Now, the secret with a pumice stone is that you want to use it wet. The good news is that water is already here in the bowl. So dip the pumice stone in there, make sure it's good and wet, and then you are gonna just lightly, almost like you're erasing something. That's all the more pressure you need. You don't have to really scrub, just a light little, scrape with it. You're going to go over those hard water areas, and it will help remove those. And this is not something you're gonna need to do every single time. I just keep, again, a pumice stone designated for the bathroom and keep it maybe in your cleaning caddy. And then every so often, if I notice that hey, the hard water is really built up and that ring is back, then, I just add that to the cleaning routine. But by no means are we using this every single time, just once in a blue moon, but it really is a good tool for getting rid of those hard water and mineral buildup. Okay, number 5, we are halfway through, and this is the last one for inside the toilet bowl. The other 5 are for outside of the toilet. And this is a good time to ask you, do you like cleaning toilets, or do you absolutely hate this chore? You can tell me in the comments below. And while you're at it, let me know, are you team silicone toilet brush, regular bristles, or disposable? Number 4 is a super easy one, and also one you're probably not gonna have to do all the time unless it's just been a while since you've cleaned the toilet area on the outside, but that's gonna be to dust first. If you've ever gone to wipe down and the top is dusty, then you're just smearing around dust with your rag. So you could take a Swiffer or, a dusting cloth, whatever you wanna use, and just give it a good little wipe down to get the dust off. So then when you clean it with an all-purpose cleaner, then you're not gonna have the gross little dust bunny clumps hanging around. So that's an easy one, but one worth noting. Now, number 3 is gonna come down to personal preference, and I'll tell you, I'm a bit of a rule breaker on this one, but it is when you clean the outside of the toilet, do you use a paper towel or a rag? Most people are gonna tell you to use a paper towel with an all-purpose or multi-surface cleaner. I personally have always used and still use a rag. I just find it easiest, and I just designate one to the toilet and then I wash it after. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, but I don't like the thought of, yes, I wash them, so I don't know what was the bathroom one and what was the kitchen one, and they don't like the idea that maybe they're wiping down their kitchen counters with a rag that at one point cleaned the toilet. For me, you washed it, it's clean, but I get it. So a hack there is to color coordinate and use blue for poo and pink for sink, meaning the kitchen or the rest of the bathroom. Number 2 seems like a pretty simple one, but it can be often overlooked, especially if we are short on time. And that is that you want to remove the toilet seat and be sure to be cleaning under that and cleaning the seat really well. Now, again, if you're short on time, I'm all about a quickie clean. Just toss some cleaner in there, scrub with the brush, flush, and at least the bowl doesn't look gross. But once you have some more time, you really do want to remove that seat so that you can get underneath and really get everything thoroughly. Nowadays, the models really just sort of clip on and off, and they're really easy. Older seats, you might have to unscrew, but it's pretty satisfying to see it's gross to see what's under there, but satisfying to clean it off. And then to clean the seat, you could either just spray it with multi-purpose or all-purpose cleaner right there over the toilet, or you could put it in the tub, give it a good clean there, and then just follow by cleaning the tub. And a trick I didn't mention mentioned earlier when we talked cleaning the bowl, do you know that when you flush the toilet, you actually want to always close the lid and then flush? Because they say that the flushing makes all these particles from inside the toilet really like spray out, even if we're not seeing it or feeling it. But at a micro level, they're going everywhere. If your toothbrush is nearby, or toilet paper, you just don't want that happening. So best practice is to close the lid and then flush. Have I been guilty of not doing that? Yes, and I'm still here. It's all fine, but best practice, close the lid. And that brings us to number one, cleaning the outside of the toilet. For this, you want a good all-purpose spray or a multi-surface spray, followed by a disinfectant, or you could use a disinfecting cleaner. I will list some of my favorites in the description below, along with everything we've talked about here today. Another cleaner you could use is an enzyme cleaner. Enzymes are really good at messes like this or pet messes. They sit there and really break it down so that you can clean it up and then follow with a disinfectant. Some people also like to just wipe it all down with a disinfecting wipe after they've cleaned it. So whatever your preference is, but end with this step. Don't forget the surrounding areas, the floor, probably the wall. And if you really want to see if you got it all or areas you missed, grab a black light because that is going to illuminate anything you may have missed. This is how I discovered that there was urine on the wall behind my son's toilet. Like I said, parents of boys, if you know, you know. So just be sure that the cleaner you're using is safe to use on your floors or the wall. But yeah, this is the final last step and you have now thoroughly cleaned your toilet. Okay, and that does it. Again, everything's in the description below, including a really easy recipe for DIY toilet tablets. You can make these, toss one in every couple days. It'll buy you time in between the deeper cleans. And while you're there, tell me in the comments, what area do you want to see me thoroughly clean or provide tips on next? And don't forget to hit the subscribe button while you're at it for more easy cleaning tips and tricks.